Hi everyone. One of my dreams for us is that we would be a people who pray a lot. Interacting with God through prayer is one of the most life-giving parts of our journey with God. I like to think of it as a great big buffet table of options. So prayer can really be anything that you do with intention, that means on purpose, in order to be with God and interact with God. So it might be hunting in the woods, intending to be awake to God's presence while you're hunting. It might be thanking God for all His good gifts by writing those things in a gratitude journal. Or maybe it's deciding to be aware of God as you go and get the groceries. Prayer possibilities are endless. And every couple months I get to offer a fresh way to pray. As I was listening to God for what to offer this time, I noticed that the fruit of the Spirit has been showing up in our life together a lot lately. So last fall we had a series on the fruit of the Spirit called the Ripening Series. Recently Pastor Carl mentioned that series in a sermon, and he named it as one of the ways that God got us ready for responding well in this time of pandemic. And then last Sunday, Jen Yoder mentioned it during the children's time, and she talked about the possibility of writing the fruit of the Spirit on popsicle sticks. I have a friend who has been praying through the fruit of the Spirit every morning before she gets out of bed for over a year. She says it's been life-changing, and I've been wanting to try this way of praying. So I started this morning. When I woke up, I simply did what my friend does. I took a deep breath, and then I thought the word love in my mind. I did it in my mind because Carl was still sleeping, but you could say it out loud. Then I took another deep breath, and I said the word joy in my mind. And then another deep breath, and I said the word peace all the way through to the end of the list. As I meditated on each of the words listed as a fruit of the Spirit, I thought about how God is full of love and joy and peace. And I felt and sensed in my body what it's like that God treats me with patience and kindness and goodness. I also remembered that the fruit of the Spirit isn't this super hard to do list. No, it's a list of what grows naturally within me when I open myself to being filled by the Spirit of God and guided by the Spirit of God. So then I got sidetracked into imagining God as a gardener who was coming inside of me to water the fruit trees of, what didn't I say yet? Of faithfulness and gentleness and self-control and all the other fruit trees. Would you like to try out this fresh way of praying? I wonder what might happen if a whole bunch of us prayed the fruit of the Spirit every morning before we got out of bed for a number of months. I recently heard from my friend. She said that when she started praying through the fruit of the Spirit, she knew that she lacked self-control. And in fact, she didn't even want self-control because it felt confining and not free to her. But this is what she recently wrote in a letter. I have been smiling over the fact that I have prayed for self-control for so long, and now I see how it is opening things up financially for my husband and me. I see the finish line of no more debt, and I actually want this fruit of self-control. If you decide to start praying the fruit of the Spirit before you get out of bed in the morning, you can start by memorizing the fruit of the Spirit or simply writing those 9 fruits on a card that you keep near your bed. You can find the list, if you don't know, in Galatians 5, 22 and 23. And if you would like to take this spiritual practice even a step further, you could write each of the fruits on a popsicle stick and then place them all in a jar that you keep near the place where you eat meals together. Then at your evening meal, someone can pull out one of the popsicle sticks, and you can take a minute to notice, together with other people at your table, when did I experience, okay, say you pulled the popsicle stick that says patience. When did I experience God's patience today? And when or how did I or someone else at this table show God's patience today? And then the next morning before you get out of bed, you can pray through the fruit of the Spirit again. I'm intending to pray the fruit of the Spirit every morning that I remember before I get out of bed for the next 3 months. And you are invited to join me. Then in September, I'll be back with another fresh way to pray.